All right, everybody, I'm introducing myself. My name is Jamila B, and this is Melanin Nation Elevate. So, just giving some people time to get in, and we're going to go ahead and start this live. You can put things in the chat, say what's up to me, whatever it is you like to do, please do so, and we'll begin. All right, so give you a little bit about Melanin Nation Elevate. If you look at the description, this channel is all about accountability, responsibility, and trying to make sure that women are held to the fire just like men are. And sometimes we have a God complex. So let's talk about God complex. We're going to talk about how that displays in our behavior. So let's go ahead and start. A little bit about myself. I was married actually for 10 years. So no longer married. I am okay with that. Not looking to be married again. But for those who are, these are some tips that could help you possibly. So let's get this started. In the chat, if anyone wants to talk about it, when you hear God complex, what is this something that you think about? When you say God complex, tell me what it is you think about when someone says something like that. I'm just looking at the chat and I may try to make it faster. That way everyone it can go a little faster for everyone. So I may have to try to change that. All right, so we're going to start this off. Once again, put a 7 in the chat if you can hear me right now. 7 in the chat if you can hear me right now. Once I see those 7s in the chat, we will go ahead and begin. All right, let's see. I am back. We're going to talk about a God complex. Let's talk about this. A lot of ladies, don't want to hear things, but on this channel, we're going to hold ourselves accountable and others. We're going to be responsible for our actions. I've been seeing a lot of things going on. So I decided that it's time to come out and talk about some things. I'm talking to women, but also men are able to learn from this as well, because again, a lot of men, they are dealing with women, so this can be helpful. A God complex, first of all, let's talk about the definition. God complex is a psychological term used to describe someone who believes they are infallible, omnipotent, or superior to others. They often display excessive confidence, control, a lack of empathy for others. It's not a clinical diagnosis, but it's commonly used to describe behaviors associated with narcissism or extreme egotism. So let's talk about this. Here's some characteristics. Belief that one's opinion or decisions are always right. How many of us as women, we know some people, and it may be us, we know that what we think, our beliefs are right, our decisions are always right. And when we're talking about relationships, let's just throw that out there. Even if it's with a man, it can be with your coworkers, it can be with anyone. Believing that you are always right about something is definitely a characteristic of the God complex. You are not always right. You are definitely not always right. And this is what brings a lot of issues into people's relationships. Again, whether it's at work, with the man, whoever it is you are dealing with, family members. You think you're always right. Your opinions are always right. And that is not always the case. Another characteristic, let's talk about it. Difficulty accepting criticism or feedback. How many of us know women who have a difficulty with doing that? They just can't accept the criticism. Anyone that says something to them, they're automatically mad about it. They don't want to talk about it. They feel like everything they say is correct. How many of us know that? We know a lot of people like that. It can be family members, it can be our moms, our sisters, our brothers, uncles. It doesn't matter. We know people in our lives like this. And it may be us as well. Another thing, a need to control situations or people. Does that sound familiar? All right. A lack of accountability or humility. How many of us know women like this? No accountability, no humility, nothing. Viewing others as inferior or less than capable. We all know people like this. We're going to get down to it on this channel. Tonight is just kind of throwing some things out there, trying to get a feel for what women are thinking, what women are doing out in the world. So, um, how women might display these behaviors. Let's talk about it. How are we displaying these God complex type of traits in the world? It can be in our leadership, it can be in social settings. How are we doing this in these social settings? How are we doing this when we're at work? Even in personal relationships, that can be a romantic relationship. How are we displaying these? So anyone in the chat, any women want to say anything about that, please do. But I do want to go ahead and say women do have a God complex, and I've met many women who have this complex. I am saying this because women, for so many years, there has not been any accountability. Let's just be honest. No accountability, no responsibility. And sometimes when you do get this, people get upset. Women get upset if anyone says something to them. And it's time for women to do better. Some of the decisions that are made is because you feel like you're always right. You feel like no one can speak to you and say anything to you, but then you wonder why things are going wrong for you. I just suggest that everyone takes a look at themselves to make things better. We are going to talk really deep on this channel. We're going to get up, into a lot of things. And some people are not going to be happy about it, and some people will. But at the end of the day, this channel is to elevate others. It's Melanin Nation Elevate for a reason. Trying to get my people, the women that I come across every day, trying to get them to elevate and do something different instead of doing the same thing over and over again. Because if you're doing the same things, you're in cultural spaces, you're in social settings, and you're acting like you're the sole voice. You're the only one that can be talking, or you're the only one that knows everything, and that is not a good look. So I'm just coming on here today just to kind of put it out there a little bit, kind of introduce myself, Melanin Nation Elevate, trying to introduce this to women and to men as well. Accountability and responsibility. Those two things are definitely key. And I just want to talk a little bit to you ladies about different things. Uh, you just have to have empathy. You have to have that humility anytime you're dealing with a man. Let's just talk about some relationships. A lot of people are in relationships, but they do have that God complex. They're wondering why it's not going the way that they wanted it to go. And that is why a lot of people are ending up in the positions that they are. So I feel like men and women should go to their respective corners and actually see what type of things they can bring to the table. So today we just a little bit, just not too long. I'm not going to hold you long because I'm actually tired. But I will be back on and we will actually hit more topics. But this God complex is just something that I want to put on everyone's mind. I want everyone to understand what a God complex is and truly search inside yourself to see if you are that person who has felt like everything you say is correct. Your decisions are the right way. You can't accept criticism. You can't accept feedback from anyone. So let's think about that. And I'll get with you guys later. This is just a quick little overview, but I will be coming to you trying to see what exactly the days that I want to come on and just trying to gauge my audience to see uh, what topics we want to talk about. Also, if you guys go to my community page, I do have a couple of questions. I have what we want to be called over here. at Melanin Nation. I have different choices for you guys. So if you guys can vote, share the video so that people can vote. That would be great. And I'll see you guys soon. And I'll see you guys later. But I do want you to think about the God complex. See you later. Bye.